pickup out to the 41-yard line for a gain of 1. The offensive lineup for Deptford tonight. In the backfield along with Souders, it's Mike Green and Calvin Coursey. The wide receivers is Barry Lloyd along with tight end Scott Duckett. You saw him a moment ago. Matt Carr is the split end. Up front, it's Francis Soper, Hardy, Probasco, and Remington for the Spartans on second down.
Jack, Deptford used 8 different backs last week. They'll have a lot of people carrying the ball.
Second down and 9 from the I formation, and Souders will throw again under pressure, but he's got the big tight end again, open across midfield and into Delsea territory to the 39-yard line. So a couple of big pickups on this first drive, Mark, for Deptford.
And I'll tell you what, Souders was crushed that time by 81 Dave Houlihan, but he hung in there tough. And again, they really think that they can exploit Duckett. Not only is he has very good hands, Jack, as you saw in that play, he's very good at running after the catch.
So first down and 10, again from the I formation after pickup of nearly 25. A flag on the play as running forward is Calvin Coursey, but this one may come back.
He was tackled by number 2, Cameron Kelly. There's a flag on the play.
Looks like a legal motion will bring this one back and make it a 1st and 15. Mike Green will check out of the ball game for
motion
Deptford.
On the offense. It's still first down.
There's a look at tonight's officials for this ball game. First call of the night makes it 1st and 15 now for the Spartans.
Of course, Breon Johnson and Green switch a lot at that fullback position. A very good blocker, but also can take it the distance as he did last week in the opener against Williamstown.
1st and 15. Souders under center will give it to the fullback this time, and straight forward and only a yard or 2 for Calvin Coursey. Make that Johnson the ball carrier. Breon Johnson. Here's a look at the Crusaders defense tonight. Up front it'll be Kelly, Myers, Wynn, along with Streeter and Houlihan. The linebackers are Reimel and Pfeiffer. In the backfield it's Kelly, Crenshaw, Hartman, and Johnson.
Wynn is the all-South Jersey lineman. He made that last tackle, Jack. He's very, very tough to move at the nose.
Second, about 14. Souders will roll to his left this time. He's got time, pulls it down, and then goes long, and it's just out of the reach of Barry Lloyd, who had beat the defense down the field.
Number 16, Barry Lloyd, incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down and 14.
Souders did a great job showing patience because Lloyd was not his first option there, and then he scrambled, bought some time, saw Lloyd open, and just barely overthrew him. Again, Lloyd has very good speed, as you can see, and he can get down the field very quickly. In fact, this is a Deptford team that certainly has good team speed. And, of course, here now with 3rd down, you expect Souders with his rollout ability to maybe create something.
3rd down. Big play here, and only option, they pitch it back to Coursey. He's caught in the backfield. Fine defensive play by Brandon Crenshaw, who was not fooled on any kind of option there, and throws Coursey for a loss.
Caron Kelly did an outstanding job coming up on that option that time. Again, Kelly shedding the block and just really blitzing through. And with Delsea has great speed in the defensive backfield. So, again, both these teams will try to turn the corner. Won't be that easy.
The punt by Beast, one of the better punters in South Jersey, will take a Spartan roll and go all the way inside the 5-yard line. So Delsea takes over, but they are deep in their own territory. A couple of big gains on offense that time for Deptford, but they're unable to do more. They play a field position game and put these Crusaders back in their own territory. Delsea led by quarterback George Dawson, just a sophomore, Mark. They had hoped to go in a different direction earlier, but had a preseason injury to their starting quarterback. Dawson's done a nice job stepping in.
Yeah, he stepped in last week, threw for 125 yards, rushed for 65 yards.
First play of the ball game goes right up the middle. Little gain. Let's take a look at the starting lineup behind Dawson today. In the backfield, it's Kevin Johnson along with Josh Reimel. We talked about him in the open. Bill Pfeiffer also back there. The wide receiver is Mike Hartman. The tight end is Dave Houlihan. Up front, it's Mike Gandy. At center, the guards are Streeter and Myers. Greg Wynn and Chuck Gorman also on the front line for Delsea.
Of course, Delsea had those great backs last year led by Darnell Eli. And again, this is an inexperienced backfield this season, with the exception, obviously, of Reimel.
From that wing T offense, they send a men in motion and then come right up the middle again. It looks like Kelly, the ball carrier.
And out goes the Reimel again.
Check that was Reimel on the carry. Here's a look at the Deptford defense. Up front, it's Coursey and Duckett, along with Hardy and Nelson. The linebackers are Johnson, Soper, and Clement. In the backfield, it's Russ, Collins, Green, and Forte.
Of course, B.J. Medley, who was supposed to be the starter, got hurt against Shawnee, broke his arm in the final scrimmage of the season. Dave Lamish, last year's starting quarterback, also banged up, but he is able to kick.
Third down and long. They'll bring it left side this time, and a wicked hit will make the stop there. Coming in to make the stop for Deptford, John Ford.
Of course, also Breon Johnson. We talk about number 45, who comes in with Mike Green, and very, very fast and strong. And again, both teams have very active linebackers, and they're very good against the run.
Hunting from his own end zone is Dave Lamish. Collins gets it in Delsea territory and moves forward to the 36-yard line. So fine field position for the Spartans as they'll take over again, 1st and 10.
And number 51, Dave Houlihan.
Well, one thing that Deptford or anybody else will learn, Collins will learn, is you've got to go north to south. Delsea did a great job on that contain that time, kept them going east to west and held them up.
6:20 to go here in the first quarter. Nothing ball game. Second possession for Deptford. They'll start it in Delsea territory at the 36-yard line. Souders with a long time at the line. He finally gets the play going. Breaking through the traffic is Collins, and then he's hit
Number 6, DeJuan Collins.
as he crosses the 35-yard line. Recovered on the play by number 36, Scott Duckett.
Down and 7 for Deptford.
But what happened that time was Greg Wynn, 57, shot in there, but actually shot over the play, as you see there, and then Collins was able to break out.
See the ball being stripped there, and the recovery by Scott Duckett. Second down. Collins again trying to move forward. He fights his way forward to the 31-yard line.
For a gain of about 3 yards.
Stop on the play
Third down and 4.
by number 58, Matt Myers.
It'll be third down for Deptford.
Collins is a big play person. Last week, an 85-yard touchdown with an interception return against Williamstown. First Deptford beating the Braves 27-7.
So a big third down coming up. You'd have to think that Deptford would be in 4-down territory here with the ball at the 31-yard line. They'll move the fullback Green out of that eye a little bit and roll that way. Plenty of time for Souders across the middle and right through the hands of the intended receiver, John Ford.
Intended for number 10, John Forte. Incomplete.
It'll bring up fourth down.
Down and 5 for Deptford from the 30-yard line.
Well, that time, Green stayed in. Watch 44, and he did a terrific job. He and Collins blocking. Look at Green to the side of your screen there on the block. Souders had it all day and just overthrew the ball. Deptford has to go for this, Jack. There's no use punting the ball here. And remember, they had success with Duckett twice already on big pass plays.
So go for it they will on 4th down. Souders rolls the same way, comes over the middle, and it is incomplete. He was trying to get it out there to Tom Beese. Get the ball off the mark, and for the second time, a drive that looks so promising for Deptford comes up short. Delsea will take over on downs.
Nice rush, too, by Matt Myers, number 58 for Delsea, who made him rush the ball. Now, this is a couple times now. Deptford's had some chances, and Delsea is held. And as we saw last week against Paulsboro and Woodbury, when you get chances against these teams, Jack, you have to cash in.
First down, the misdirection. Across the middle and complete. Near a first down. Out to the 47-yard line.
Well, what made that play and what sold it was Dawson. Tremendous play faking ability. It held up the linebackers. Look, there's nobody near him. He pump faked because he didn't see open, and then he's hitting a secondary receiver. You see Houlihan right there. That's a nice job by the sophomore, Jack. Looking, not getting his primary target, but hitting that secondary receiver.
Just shy of the first down. It's 2nd and 1. They will keep it on the ground this time, and across the first down mark and in to Deptford territory is Josh Reimel. Reimel finally pulled down at the 30, make it the 44-yard line.
Now it'll be 1st and 10 for the Crusaders from the 46-yard line.
Keep in mind, we talked about last week both of these teams opening wins, but they both beat teams that are expected to be more towards the bottom of the Trico Royal. So this will be a good indication for both teams' strength tonight.
On first down. This time, Dawson keeps it. He's sprinting out to the left side, picks up some yardage across the 40 and all the way down to the 38-yard line. Nice pickup by Dawson after the fake.
I think this was a design run, though. The only thing you want to tell the sophomore, he's got to take care of the ball a little bit better. This ball's out there freely. This was a designed run for Dawson, and he shows his speed by getting outside. Now, see how he's holding the ball out like that? He's got to protect that a little bit, because as you see, Breon Johnson there taking a swipe at it to try to get the ball.
2nd down and 2. Reimel right up the middle. He is inside the 35-yard line and has a Crusader first down. So Delsea threatening with 3:09 left here in the first. First time they've been this deep into Deptford territory.
Reimel at 172 pounds, pound for pound, one of the tougher kids in South Jersey. I mean, he could run inside, Jack, and then bolt out, but he gets a lot of his yardage between the tackles.
Had over 100 yards last week, as we already mentioned. 1,600 last year, or rather over 1,300 last year. Dawson kept it, tripped over the 30-yard line on first down for a pickup of about 4.
Well, Dawson got by Blake Remington, who really shot through the line, and Dawson showing us a lot of elusiveness. Again, he was a starter on the freshman team last year. They went undefeated, so Sal Marquez Jr., the head coach, knew that he was going to have something special, just didn't think he'd have to rush him this quickly in the game action.
2 backs in the wing. Now Reimel moves over to the slot, and they'll give it to Karan Kelly, and Kelly around the end. I think he's got enough for a first down as he gets inside the 25-yard line.
Well, look at Bill Pfeiffer, one of the backs, who did a tremendous job for Kelly. What Watch, you'll see at the far end of your screen, Jack, 24 will come up there. You'll just see the back of him right there. You see how he's pushing out the way? And then Kelly, with the great speed, can get through.
It was enough for a first down. Ball spotted at the 24-yard line. Again, Reimel right behind Dawson at quarterback. Kelly with a misdirection. Dawson still has it on first down. He's throwing. Tried to get Reimel off his hands and into the hands of the tight end, Dave Houlihan. Little touch drill here.
I don't think Delsea works on this one,
No.
the tip drill. But again, you see Dawson running to his left, throwing across his body off Reimel. And I think if Reimel hadn't hit that, Houlihan doesn't get it.
Clock continues to run down to a minute 20 as Reimel takes it on first down and picks up only about a yard.
He was tackled by number 25, Calvin Corsi. That'll bring up second down and about 8.
They mark him forward for 2 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 8.
We got 50 seconds left, guys. Let's have water up front.
Dawson gets his play from the sideline. They split the backs out of the wing, taking a lot of time here off the clock with 37 seconds left. Dawson will try to throw it on second down. He's under pressure, needs to get rid of the ball, does it the last moment to Reimel at the 15. He's inside the 10 to the 8-yard line with 23 seconds remaining. We'll be right back after this. Back at John Oberg Stadium, you haven't missed a thing, but just in time for the end of the first quarter. An impressive drive by the Delsea Crusaders as they are threatening with a third down inside the 10-yard line. We'll be back for second quarter action. The score, 0-0 after 1 from John Oberg Stadium. We're going to keep it right here during the quarter. We'll take another look at the last play. Boy, I'll tell you what, Mark, Dawson was under a great deal of pressure here.
Well, what happened? I thought a key to the play. Scott Duckett, you see 36 there? He contains. He does not let Dawson get outside. That's a great play by Duckett. And then he has to throw back over to Reimel. This is the most spectacular no-gain play that you're going to see.
And that was the final play of the first quarter, and we will take a break. The score after 1 here from Franklinville, it's Delsea 0 and Deptford 0. We'll be right back. Second quarter underway from Delsea. They're threatening here on a third down inside the 10. Dawson has the football. He gets inside the 5 and pushed out at the 3-yard line. So it will be 4th down, and what do you do here, partner?
Well, Lamish is a strong kicker. I think I would try to get some points on the board if I'm Delsea.
Well, they did a good job of stringing Dawson out, and it does not look.
DeJuan Collins, by the way, number 6, making the tackle right here, and obviously saved the touchdown on that play.
Does not look like field goal is in the plans here as they'll line up on 4th and goal from the 2-yard line. And now they'll take a timeout. Maybe it is in the plans. They stop the clock with 11:11 left till halftime.
Well, they figure this out. Even if they don't make it, Deptford's 98 or 99 yards away, so it gives Delsea's defense a little bit of room to breathe because Deptford has had pretty good field position early on.
Don't forget, coming up tomorrow at noon, Comcast Varsity Sports Zone presents St. Mary's versus Beckton. You folks in North Jersey will see that game. In Pennsylvania, Delaware, and South Jersey, it'll be Bishop McDevitt versus Archbishop Carroll from Philadelphia. Comcast Varsity Sports Zone. If you're looking for some of the region's best hard-hitting high school football action, keep it tuned to CN8 and get in the zone.
And it's good to see that Philadelphia Catholic League schools, after the teacher strike, back in action. The youngsters getting involved in Catholic League action, which again should be a very good year, although St. Joe Prep, who we saw here on CN8 a couple weeks ago, showing why it is nationally ranked.
In this one, it's 4th and goal. First serious scoring threat for either team. Delsea with the opportunity here. Banging it down and nearly intercepting the ball from Dawson that time was number 83, Jeff Clement. The defensive end nearly came up with a spectacular play. The 4th down try, though, comes up short, Mark. And how about this? A game where we thought we'd see tons of offense. So far, the defense answering the call.
Well, Jack, look at Clement. He went by the block of Pfeiffer that time. And if he would have caught that, you know, with his speed, he would have been able to go the distance. So it looked like Pfeiffer was coming out to maybe get a screen or something like that, but Clement got in there too quickly.
So far, Mark, it has been defense and field position, and once again, a team starting in horrible field position back inside the 5-yard line is the Deptford Spartans.
Now this is where you give it to Green. Green has not, I believe, had any carries yet. This is where you give it to him in this area.
And I think it was actually the quarterback. It was keeping the football. Did they fake it to Green? Green has it, evidently. Underneath the pile. There he is. The fullback finally gets the carry. Coach Narducci with the call.
Well, the reason why you want to do that, you're so far back there. He's a guy that can just move people by himself. He's so powerful. And that's a nice 4-yard gain he got.
A little extra breathing room there as they get across the 5, where it'll be 2nd down and 6.
Actually, I'd probably give it to him again here.
Green in that fullback spot. Now this time they go to the tailback, and it's Duckett with the ball. Check that, make it number 25, Calvin Corsi, and he's out for another 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and short.
Mike Gandy, number 66, did a nice job of stopping that up for Delsea. That looked like it had a chance to go a little bit further. Delsea closed it up very quickly. There's Al Oreo's done a nice job with this Deptford team. As we said, made the Group 3 playoffs last season.
On 3rd down, Green stopped dead at his tracks. Wynn in there. Of course, you expect him to be in there along with the front of the line, including Myers.
Well, there's Greg Wynn again. As we said, one of the premier linemen in all South Jersey. He's 290 pounds. He's only 6 foot, which might scare colleges a little bit. They like those people bigger, but he can certainly play the nose as well as anybody in South Jersey.
Tom Beast back to punt it away. It's a high kick. Will be caught at the 49-yard line. It's muffed. Who's got the football? Deptford thinks they have it, but I think that jumping on it at the last moment was Bill Pfeiffer, number 24, and boy, did he save the day for the Crusaders. Terrific kick, took end over end, and as you can see there, Hartman had problems with it, but Pfeiffer, right spot at the right time, and Delsea's got the ball back. How about that punt?
A great punt by Beast and a hold on Delsea. So all of a sudden, Deptford, which was inside the 10-yard line, now Delsea does not get good field position, and an opportunity when the Crusaders could have been at least around midfield.
First and 10 from the 38.
That'll push the ball all the way back to the 38-yard line. Nothing ball game.
Neither team has been able to really go up the middle and break it outside. That's what both of these teams have lived on with their offense over the years. The defenses have not given them that to this point.
Let's go, Al!
So here we go again. Dawson will give it to Kevin Jackson. Jackson pushes his way forward to about the 40. That's it.
Again, it's tough, and it's also, we said it's tough to run in the middle. It's tough to go outside. Watch 55, Wesley Soper for Deptford. Just getting a piece of him right there, and that's good enough.
Kept him to just 2 yards, where it'll be now 2nd and 8.
Very active linebackers with Clement, Soper, and either Breon Johnson or Green. Those two kind of alternate in the middle there for Deptford.
They'll go the other way this time with Kieran Kelly. About the same result, though, as he slips trying to get around the outside this time for a pickup of just about 1.
It'll be 3rd down and 8 from the 40-yard line.
Again, not much success going outside. Delsea with some blockers, but he slipped there really because they had set up a pretty good wall there, but he slipped.
Yeah, Reimel was out front that time, and it looked like they had a block that he was trying to cut inside. 3rd and 8.
Dawson probably rolling out here, you think.
Well, they'll give it inside to Reimel, and Reimel beats his defender and gets the first down. Pickup of 11 as he gets to the midfield stripe. Just across the 50-yard line, and a big run by Reimel to pick up the first down.
I'll tell you what, Brandon Russ, number 1 for Deptford, had he not made that tackle, I think Reimel would have been off to the races. Watch number 1 come right there. See, there's nobody else there that would have been able to catch him. I think he would have been able to turn the corner, so the 155-pound Russ did a nice job bringing down Reimel.
Boy, you talked about Reimel's strength and his toughness, but he showed you quickness there, getting through that hole in a hurry. First down, and Dawson will keep it. Little dump pass to Reimel, who loses the handle, and that ball is picked up by Deptford on the sideline. It's a turnover. A catch and a fumble. Reimel had it, but it looked as he was trying to put it away that he lost control of the ball. So the turnover will give the football to Deptford, and we will take a break. 6:51 to go till halftime. It's 0-0. First and 10 for Deptford as they take over after the turnover. Souders steps up in the pocket and fires. He has a receiver open for a first down and more. Getting all the way down the sideline is number 16, Barry Lloyd. Lloyd inside the 40-yard line of Delsea.
That was a terrific play because what Deptford did was they cleared out that area and let Lloyd go underneath that time. Again, good protection by Rowing. Look at the block they had to get that time on Wynn. But he was underneath and he was wide open.
Good strong throw by the senior quarterback.
38-yard line will be 1st and 10 for the Spartans.
Neither one of these teams known for their passing, but they've thrown it up a few more times maybe than people thought here in the first, and that with some success. Collins trying to come through traffic. He does get down to the 35-yard line before he's met there by Delsea's Bill Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer, of course, last year as a sophomore on this team that made it to the South Jersey Group 3 semifinals had 111 tackles. So we know how active Pfeiffer can be.
Of course, Delsea has been a big part of postseason action the last 3 seasons.
Remember, we caught them upsetting Ocean City 2 years ago in the Group 3 finals, 35-21.
On second down, Collins has a first down inside the 30-yard line near the 25. Pickup of nearly 10 that time for DeJuan Collins.
Tackled by number 33, Mike Kelly. We're getting a first down. 1st and 10 for the Spartans.
This is just great work up front, as you saw there. Number 50, Chris Francis, getting the key block that time. And Collins getting the first down.
1st and 10 for the Spartans. They line up in a straight I formation. Again, it's Collins with the call. This time he gets just back to the line of scrimmage.
Number 6, DeJuan Collins on the carry for a very short gain. It's tackled again by number 33.
Jack, I'll tell you, Mike Kelly, number 33, very, very active for this Delsea defense.
From the 24-yard line.
Again, like a lot of the players, very tough to move at 6 foot 270.
And it looks like Delsea has called a timeout. 5:11 left to go here till halftime. Still a 0-0 ball game. Both teams have had some opportunities. Right now, Deptford threatening with the ball at the 25 of the Crusaders. Well, so far, both these teams, the kind of game that we thought we'd have, Mark. I mean, both these teams looked pretty impressive in their first outing, but, you know, you had to wonder about the teams that they played. Tonight, they come up against each other, and it's the kind of smash-mouth, close ball game that we thought we'd have.
Well, Deptford, the key is, has more seniors and more veterans back. Remember last year, Delsea beat the Spartans 28-8 after scoring the first 28 points of the game, but these two teams are much more evenly matched. Jack, there are some people that think that maybe some other teams could get in the mix in the Royal Division. Of course, Overbrook might be the most improved team. They will play Delsea in another week, and Gloucester Catholic's off to a 2-0 start.
They do credit Collins with a yard on that last carry before the timeout, so it's 2nd down and 9. Souders with the straight 5-step drop. Now he steps up, fires across the middle, and actually overthrows the intended receiver. He threw that, trying to get it to Duckett in triple coverage. Probably a good thing it was overthrown, huh?
Well, I'll tell you, Duckett is such a competitor that I thought he was open. I mean, I thought if the pass was right there, but it would have had to really be thread at that time. But, I mean, I think they're going to look at Duckett a lot. I know schools like Boston College have really been on Duckett. And again, you see him on the basketball court. He has terrific feet, so you know he's got great athletic ability.
Well, the incomplete makes it a 3rd and long. About 9.5 yards now. They'll pitch it.
Option.
And here comes the option. Jenkins looking to throw, and it's nearly picked off. Coming in to make the play was Kevin Jackson of Delsea. The Crusaders not really fooled by that one.
Wow, I thought Jackson waited on that ball really well. Maybe got a little anxious down near the end. Deptford didn't really sell this well. They didn't
exactly
sell
what I was going to say,
well.
yeah.
And Jackson waited on that, and I guess he was looking at where he was near the out-of-bounds marker because he just took his eye off the ball. He was right there.
Well, Tom Beese is going to come on now to attempt a long field goal. This will be a 41-yarder. One of the better kickers in South Jersey with a 41-yard attempt. It's got plenty of distance. It is up. It is good. 41-yard field goal by Tom Beese breaks our scoreless tie. With 4:47 left to go till halftime, it's 3-0 Deptford.
Well, he was an all-conference kicker last season, and Deptford figures put him in a big spot, and that is really huge because, again, remember, Deptford was close, and this just made it inside the left goalpost, Jack. Didn't make it by a whole lot.
Yeah, we were just a little bit at an angle there, so hard to see, but I think you're right, Mark. It was pretty close, but I'll tell you what, he could have hit that from almost 50. He
right, he had
his
the
leg
distance,
strength,
right. Where we said it was close, it was inside that goalpost, but he certainly had the distance.
Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll have Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield halftime highlights and statistics. Be sure to stick around for that. Highlights and stats coming up, sponsored by Blue Cross Blue Shield. 4:47 until halftime. And now a 3-0 lead for Deptford as Beast will get ready to kick it away.
And Mike Hartman, the sophomore, has the speed to go coast to coast. So, I mean, whether you kick it to Hartman or Reimel, and pick your poison because both of them very, very dangerous return men.
Hartman will be to the top of your screen on this kickoff. Reimel at the bottom of your screen. Kick goes Hartman's way. He'll go all the way back in the end zone, and that'll be another touchback. Second time that Beast has pinned back the receiver on the kickoff. And the Crusaders will start on the 20.
Of course, the high school rule, you cannot run it out of the end zone, so anytime you get a kicker like that, it's a great weapon.
Yeah, we talked about offense in the opener, Mark. We didn't talk about the kicking game, and so far that's been the highlight of this one. And defense. I mean, some terrific defense to keep this thing where it is. Remember, the Crusaders had an opportunity to score. They had a 4th and goal from the 2 and couldn't get it in. They have the ball here, 1st and 10 on the 20. Inside handoff, good only for about 2 or 3. As the clock will roll under 4.5 minutes to go. Reimel with the pickup for the Crusaders.
Soper was in there, but Breon Johnson showed his hustle. He was originally blocked off the play, came back in there, and was in on the end of that tackle.
23-yard line.
So 2nd down. About 7 to go for the 1st. Jackson with a little misdirection, and they keep it inside. Crusaders run the Delaware wing T, and of course that thrives off of misdirection.
Again, J.P. Nelson up front, number 64. One of the people up there. And what's basically happened is this Deptford defensive line is not getting moved back at all.
Right, and they're not being fooled by the misdirection, which was what I was about ready to say, at least so far. A couple of bigger runs, but this time they'll put those wingbacks in the slot. Pfeiffer and Jackson. Jackson now comes in motion. They tried to go play action. Dawson's in trouble, and he's sacked all the way back at the 15-yard line.
Sack at the 15-yard line by number 36.
In to make the play, big number 36, Scott Duckett.
That'll bring up 4th down, 14.
Deptford has done a great job containing Duckett on that defensive end. You see, he's not fooled by that fake, and he holds him up there that time. That's tremendous athletic play by Duckett, who weighs 273 pounds. He's playing much heavier than he did last year, about at least 30 pounds heavier.
And replay also showed he wasn't blocked very well in that play. Another muffed punt, this time by Deptford, but I think they've got it back. Let's see. No, it's Delsea with the ball. It bounced around there for a couple of moments. Collins couldn't hang on to it. Bartley was back there, and I thought he had it. He may have momentarily, but the Crusaders come up with it at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Brandon Crenshaw of number 3 recovered it for Delsea.
Boy, that
now,
is.
If you're Deptford, you're careless because.
Well, I mean, you know, with this kind of field position, Mark, you don't even have to field the punt. I mean, you could just let it go and let it be down. You're going to get great field position anyway. And that's a backbreaker, a 3-0 lead. This can be a real momentum turn. Let's see if Delsea can take advantage of it. 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. Jackson has the football after coming in motion, has a block in front of him. He gets all the way out close to midfield. He picks up 9 on 1st down.
Very close to a 1st down. Real 2nd down and a short 1 for the Crusaders.
Matt Myers, the guard, got a nice crunching block near the end of that. Get Jackson a few extra yards there.
Second and very short. Pfeiffer and Jackson again split his wings. Now Pfeiffer comes, and they give it inside to Reimel. Reimel has 1st down and more inside the 45-yard line before he's stopped on the play by Calvin Corsi.
Number 8, Jeff Green. That's enough for a Delsea 1st down. 1st and 10
Pickup, though, of nearly 7 here by Reimel.
Again, they haven't had a lot of success. That's a huge hole there. And I'll tell you, you saw right there, number 4, Kevin Jackson near the end, did a good job of not making that block because he would have been in a position to make a clip.
Down to a minute and a half here in the 2nd quarter. 1st down and 10 for Delsea. Inside they go again to Reimel. He tries to cut back, and he stops shy of the 1st down, but does pick up nearly 8 or 9 yards.
Number 10, John Forte.
As he gets the ball near the Deptford 35-yard line, and the Crusaders will use a timeout. They stop the clock with 1:14 left to go here till halftime.
Great play faking that time by Delsea, and then Green, number 8, coming in there to make the tackle.
But that's 2 tackles in a row by Green, Mark. And when Green's making solo tackles, you know you have problems.
Jeff Green, not Mike.
Right, exactly, because they're getting into the secondary. Well, here's a look at the South Jersey top 10. And not much surprise here early on. Mark, Camden Catholic, of course, leading the pack.
Yeah, Camden Catholic, again, does not have the strong schedule. This is from the Philadelphia Inquirer on Monday. Mainland, who we'll see next week against Atlantic City. Washington Township hasn't been tested yet. Winslow Township plays Shawnee tonight. That should be a heck of a game. Cherokee, a major contender in the Broco Olympic American. We have Delsea here. West Deptford hasn't been tested the first 2 games. Shawnee, we said, taking on Winslow after that big win over Willingboro. How about Camden trouncing Holy Cross last week, and Northern Burlington with a big win over Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah, I guess that's the surprise if there's one of the top 10 to see the Greyhounds in there at number 10. Off to a great 2-0 start. Second down for Delsea after the timeout. Pfeiffer in motion. They'll give inside again to Reimel. This time he gets only about a yard. That's all he really needed for a first down. It depends on where they spot the football. But I think they're going to be short by about a half yard. Don't forget, coming up in just a couple of moments at halftime, we'll have Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield halftime highlights and statistics. That'll be in about 45 seconds from now as the clock runs on third down. They'll keep it right up the gut with Dawson, pick up the first down to the 30-yard line. I think they've got to think about either spiking or calling a timeout here. Dawson comes over quickly to get the play from the sideline, but they're down to just 40 seconds. Again, the clock stops until they set the chains. Now it's running again.
They set them right. They've got to get out of this huddle a little bit quicker now.
You wonder why there's a huddle, to be frank about it. 1st and 10. Jackson dances through. Now Dawson will look to pass. He's looking downfield. He's got Jackson complete inside the 5-yard line with 17 seconds remaining. Somehow we clicked down to 16 after the play, so 16 seconds remaining. As soon as they set the chains, it'll start. There you see the time. Top left-hand corner of your screen, and Dawson now wants a timeout.
Jack, the only problem is there are 7 seconds left. They lined up at 16. If you're going to call the timeout, you call it at 16. They've wasted 9 seconds there. I thought this was a defensive mix-up by Deptford because, again, receiver wide open, Kevin Jackson. And we talk about John Forte, who's had a strong first half, making the touchdown-saving tackle that time.
Well, they've got time for about one play, right? I mean, especially if it's a running play.
Well, I think they're going to bring in Lamish. I don't know if they're going to take any chances now and go for the field goal.
Well, that appears what they will try to do with 7 seconds left. Tie this one up. As Lamish will set it down at the 10-yard line. It'll be a 20-yard attempt, but Deptford, not ready for the field goal, will take a timeout.
Lamish not as strong a foot as Bees, but a lot of kickers don't have. But this is certainly well within his range. Of course, he's an excellent athlete. We talked about he was a quarterback last year and an outstanding pitcher for the Crusaders baseball team.
So with Deptford leading 3-0, the Crusaders will elect here with just 7 seconds left and no timeouts remaining, by the way, to go for the field goal. Now they're setting the offense back out after this play that set it up.
Right. Jack, what I think they're going to try to do is throw one in the end zone, have one chance to go in the end zone. The only chance they're taking is if Dawson gets tackled beyond the line or something like that. So he's got to know. They'll probably do a quick fade pattern because he knows he's got to get rid of this ball quickly.
Well, Delsea wants to run it up to the line and run this, but the Crusaders aren't able to do it because the coaching staff of Deptford's still on the field talking with the officials. They may have called another timeout.
Yeah, they called another timeout, which I think's right. Why save them till halftime? Why take a chance?
To be honest with you, Mark, I think I like the strategy here. Not that anybody's asked us, but I mean, you do have time probably in 7 seconds to have a quick pass play. If it falls incomplete, you still have time to get the field goal, notwithstanding the risk that you talked about a few moments ago.
Right. The problem is if the play breaks down, Dawson has to scramble. He's got to know if he doesn't see anyone open and he can't make it to the end zone, he's got to throw it out of the end zone.
Well, and remember, you're talking about a quarterback with not a whole lot of experience, just a sophomore. I mean, he's obviously doing a great job at this level and is very talented, but we saw a couple of moments ago when he was scrambling around very, very deep in his own end. And, sometimes under pressure, young kids make mistakes. So the timeout, 2 timeouts consecutively have expired, and Delsea will go for it. First and goal, just inside the 5-yard line. Dawson will look to the end zone. It's incomplete, and the clock stops with 3 seconds to play.
Now you bring in the field goal unit.
Right.
Yep.
Dawson looked a little jittery there, and he made sure he didn't make a mistake, got away with it quickly, and threw it in the ground.
Not a bad idea, although I don't know why you would do the play fake there. You just go trying to isolate Jackson out there in the flat. Ball just too low.
Well, I think
if you're Delsea and you can tie this up, you'll take it after this first half. Especially the way Deptford came out in those first 2 series, and I thought it was really dominant.
So a 20-yard attempt from Lamas here at the end of the first half. Could tie it up. Kick is up, and I think he missed it. Wide to the left. He did. It's no good. The field goal off the mark, so a tough first half for Delsea, who failed on a 4th and goal from the 2 and then misses a 20-yard field goal to end the first half. Wow. We thought we'd see a lot of offense, and here at halftime, the score, the Deptford Spartans 3, the Delsea Crusaders nothing. Here's a look at the miss.
Again, just rushed it a little bit. I thought number 1, Brandon Rush, got a pretty good rush from the outside, maybe made him kick it a little quicker than he wanted to.
Sometimes, Mark, the angle for these kids just psychs them out. It looked like Lamas yanked it to the left. 3-0 Deptford. We'll be back with halftime stats and highlights right after this. Welcome back to John Oberg Stadium, the home of the Delsea Crusaders here in Franklinville, New Jersey. I'm Jack Hibbard along with Marc Narducci. 3-0 Deptford, the only scoring coming in the second quarter off the foot of Tom Beese with 4:47 left in the half. A 41-yard field goal, Mark.
Had great distance and just inside that upright. And again, Beese showed why he was an all-conference kicker last season, and that's been the difference so far.
Hard to believe with these great offenses, just the 41-yard field goal. Here's a look at the halftime stats.
Look at the rushing yardage for Deptford. Who would believe that Deptford would be leading with 21 yards rushing? Of course, Delsea 81, Rima with 56 of them.
Of course, the big story not on this stat page, Mark. Delsea with a 4th and goal from the 2, unable to get in. And, of course, just moments ago, missing a 20-yard field goal, the score remaining 3-0. These halftime stats brought to you by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield, making healthcare work. 3-0 Deptford at halftime. We'll be back with the kickoff of the second half right after this. 3-0 Deptford, just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Tom Beese, the star of this game so far, will kick it away. A line drive kick that lands at the 5. That's the first time he hasn't kicked it to the end zone. It's picked up by Hartman, who gets leveled as he gets to the 20-yard line. Daryl Jenkins making the play on the special teams for Deptford. So Delsea, who's fallen short a couple of times, will try it again here to start things in the third. I'm Jack Hibbard along with Marc Narducci. Glad you're with us on CN8 for this one. Between 2 of the top teams in the Tri-County Royal Division, and they're playing this one like a championship, and it's only week 2. Pfeiffer gets the call on first down for the Crusaders and picks up healthy yardage about 6 to the 26.
It's interesting. Pfeiffer only had one first half carry, and of course he's an outstanding blocker, but Delsea has to mix it up a little bit better here in the second half. Tremendous blocking up front that you saw by the Crusaders. Number 58, Matt Myers, who had a very strong first half with a big block.
It was a pickup of 6, so it'll be 2nd and 4, and Reimel this time from the slot has the first down across the 30 to the 32-yard line. We saw in our stats that Delsea clearly winning the ground game between these two teams. Reimel was the leading rusher in the first half for both teams with 56 yards.
Well, again, when you have first and goal two different times and don't cash in, we said earlier in the game Deptford was letting Delsea off the hook. Late in the half, it was the opposite.
A first down here, though, with the ball at the 32-yard line. The sophomore quarterback, George Dawson, looks things over. Drops the football, and it's picked up by Deptford. You could not, of course, advance that fumble in high school, but the Spartans have it back deep in Delsea territory.
Well, again, Jeff Clement, who had such an active first half, there you see 83 was right there on the spot. I think one of the reasons why Deptford's been so strong defensively, the linebacker's so quick. There you see the problem, Jack. He took it back out from Reimel and never quite had it cleanly.
Jeff Clement, the junior, with the fumble recovery, and the Spartans in business at the Crusaders' 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Just underway here the second half, 1 minute and 9 seconds in. On first down, they give the ball to Collins, who dodged a couple of tackles and then went the wrong way. There to drop him for a loss is Brandon Crenshaw, back to the 35-yard line, a loss of 5.
I think this shows you how fast this Delsea defense is, because Collins is very strong. See, they get him there, he cuts back, and it looks like he originally has some room, and then Delsea is able to close up very, very quickly, and Crenshaw on the tackle. I'll tell you, the Delsea defensive backs have done an outstanding job coming up against the run.
2nd and long now. They'll send 2 receivers out to the right side in Lloyd and Matt Carr from the I formation, and now a flag on the play. That'll be a legal procedure. They had 2 guys in motion at once.
Back him up another 5 yards.
Jack, remember early in the game that Deptford...
Dead ball foul. Delay game on the offense. Second half.
Well, we thought it was a legal procedure. Actually, a delay game, as you heard the call from our official.
Remember they hit Duckett a couple times over the middle with big 20-yard gains. They haven't really gone back to him. They had that one play where he was in the triple coverage and they tried to force it, but Duckett would be a viable guy to look to.
They give it late to Green, and he's got plenty of room up the middle. Big Mike Green all the way down inside the 25-yard line to get most of that yardage back. Boy, how about that? I think all of Delsea thought it might be a pass, and Green just ran free. Well, you get this guy in open field, and it's like a loose locomotive.
Well, he runs a sub 4.7, so you know how fast he is. Again, the delay that time. And again, a nice job by 81 Houlihan, who did the contain work, forced him back in the middle, but there wasn't any help there.
Pickup of 10. Now there's confusion this time, and Souders ends up keeping it. You know, it looked like he wanted to get that ball to Green, but I don't think Green knew it. So here comes Tom Beast for another long field goal attempt. He's already hit a 41-yarder. This one will be almost the same distance, about 39 yards.
A 39-yard field goal.
Hit one from 41 in the second. This one from 39. Good snap, good hold. The kick, plenty of distance, but this one is off. He misses wide to the left. That one just didn't even look as good that time. Marc kind of line drived out of there, and it was off the mark. So the failed field goal leaves the score at 3-0.
But on both field goal attempts, as you accurately called, Jack, he had plenty of distance.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem.
That's not the problem
No.
with these. Yep.
Had a strong leg, and he's displayed it here. Now in high school, unlike professional football, you don't get this ball where it was spotted for the kick. It'll start out at the 20-yard line. Keeping it is Dawson, the sophomore quarterback, sprints ahead for 9 all the way out to the 29-yard line. Pretty good pickup on first down.
Up to the 29.
I'll tell you, both of these teams, I've been impressed with the tackling of the guys in the secondary. And this time, number 1, Brandon Russ, brought down Dawson, who I thought had appeared to have turned the corner. Look at him on the contain right there. That's great one-on-one tackling by Russ.
A good thing that Russ was there because didn't have much help from behind him. Second down and 9. Rather, 2nd and 1 after the gain of 9. Inside, the ball is loose again, and Deptford has it. Picking it up is Jeff Green, who's had a terrific ball game defensively. He comes up with the loose one, and the Spartans are in business again. They'll have the ball inside the 20-yard line of Delsea.
Tackle by number 21, John Drybel. Now for Green returned it down to the 19-yard line. That's where Deptford will take over, 1st and 10.
Well, Delsea dodged a bullet moments ago. Let's see if they can do it again, but this is putting a lot of pressure on your defense, partner.
It looked like a pretty good handoff, and Kelly just never got it. It was a little bit high, but that's a play Kelly can make.
1st and 10 at the 19. Bouncing off a tackle is Collins. He's got room around the right side, and Collins all the way down inside the 5-yard line. It'll be a 1st and goal for Deptford.
Around the end, down to about the 1-yard line. That's good for a 1st down. 1st and goal.
He took a hit up front, did Collins, right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Russell Streeter, 51, and Greg Wynn, 57, did a great surge on that play for Delsea, and Collins just showed his athletic ability on that play to bounce outside and turn the corner. And we said a lot of runners haven't been able to do it, and then he broke the tackle right there from Jackson and made about another 5 more yards.
1st and goal from the 3-yard line. And no sign yet. Very close to a touchdown, but it's good. Looks like it's a fumble. A fumble, and Delsea has recovered. How about that? All of a sudden, this has turned into a game of missed opportunities and mistakes, and what a big one there by Deptford.
Calvin Coursey that time. Wow, 6 turnovers already.
Delsea will take over, 1st and 10.
Deptford actually thought Calvin Coursey had crossed the goal line.
But instead, Delsea with a ball on their own 1. They'll try to get some breathing room as they operate from their end zone. Inside, it's Reimel. He's through the secondary and all the way out across the 10-yard line for a 1st down. That gives them some breathing room.
About the 11-yard line. Close to a 1st down.
Jack, if John Forte didn't get a hand on that tackle, number 10, watch you see 10 right near the end of that play. Reimel could have gotten a lot bigger gain.
So 1st and 10, though, after the pickup of 10 on the play. And this is Jackson to the 16-yard line.
Number 4, Kevin Jackson. He was tackled by number 8, Jeff Green.
And we've got a Deptford player momentarily shaken up on the play.
I'll tell you, John Forte, number 10, and Jeff Green have made a lot of tackles from that secondary.
Looks like Forte may be the one. We can't quite see his number right yet. But somebody's shaken up after that play and that tackle. 6:25 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's still 3-0 Deptford, but as we said moments ago, all of a sudden this has turned into a turnover and missed opportunity ball game.
Give him a round of applause. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we still have the 50-50 ticket in the press box. 50-50 ticket number is...
It was Forte who was shaken up, and as you can see, he's able to leave the field in his own power. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow at noon here on Comcast Varsity Sports Zone, our North Jersey viewers will see St. Mary's versus Beckton. Those of you in Pennsylvania, Delaware, and South Jersey, Bishop McDevitt versus Archbishop Carroll. Right here tomorrow at noon on CN8. Second down.
Come on, Chuck, get your head across.
They go inside again, but nothing going that time as Mike Green comes in to make the stop on Josh Reimel. It'll be third down.
Third down, about 3 yards.
Robert Bartley, by the way, went into the game for Forte, for Deptford. Of course, Bartley, guy with the team last year, transferred to Paulsboro, came back to Deptford, and is also the backup quarterback on this team. Gives Coach Oreo some versatility.
Well, big third down upcoming now for Delsea, trying to get out from deep in their own territory. They need to get to about the 21 for a first. I don't know whether that was trouble on the exchange or whether Dawson just never had any room, but he's dropped for a loss, and the Crusaders will have to punt it away.
Jeff Clements just had a great game, number 83. It was almost like he was in on a snap count right there. Look at him. Oh, no, excuse me, make that number 64 that was in there first, J.P. Nelson. And then there was Mr. Clement finishing things up, but Nelson right there on the play. There you see him. Nelson just 5'7" and 170, a real tough player for this Spartans team.
Lamish will put it away. Both receivers for Deptford on the Delsea side of midfield. And now Lamish has to call a timeout. I don't know what was going on there. They were splitting out guys left and right, and there was some motion. I don't think we were going to see any trickery down in this end of the field, but nonetheless, they have to burn a timeout. We'll see whether that comes back to haunt them.
As much as you don't want to waste a timeout, it's better to do it, especially in a situation like this, because as you said, there seemed to be a little bit of confusion. Jackson splitting out. And there's the roster breakdown, and we talked about the experience at Deptford, and it shows there, Jack, with the 22 seniors. Delsea very impressed with its junior and sophomore class. It's just that it doesn't have a lot of seniors as it did last year.
Well, you know, Delsea, though, had almost the same situation in 2000, and they were actually group champions in 2000. They started 7 sophomores that year, Mark. So I don't think Coach Marquez is too worried about his underclassmen as long as he says they get better every week. So far, they're off to a pretty good start, and definitely in this one at 3-0. I mean, at 1-0 in the record, and only down 3-0 in this one. Lamish will punt it away. End over end kick fielded by Brandon Russ at the 45, and he's pushed backwards a couple yards. That's where the Spartans will come out on offense. 4:30 left here in the third. It's 3-0 Deptford. Along with Marc Narducci, I'm Jack Hibbard. 3-0 the Deptford Spartans. They have the football again in great field position at the Delsea 42-yard line. On first down, it's Green ahead for just a couple of yards as he gets across the 40-yard line to the Delsea 39.
Not a bad idea, because again, you want to wear down this Delsea defense, and which better way to do it than to send Green up the middle. That's tough for Green because, of course, he never gets the lead blocker for him since he is the lead blocker.
Second down and about 8 after a pickup of 2 by Green. They'll line up in the straight I formation once again. Souders will look to throw under a little bit of pressure. Now will have to take off. Sheds a tackle. Gets inside the 40-yard line, but then runs smack dab into Brendan Crenshaw, who puts a lick on him.
2 yards. Third down.
Boy, he picked up a couple of yards, Mark, but he really paid the price on this one.
Again, he felt the rush. You saw 66 Gandy putting a lot of pressure on him right there, forced him out. And Gandy's still chasing him. That's great hustle by 66 of Delsea. And boom, there is the pop by Crenshaw.
3rd down and 4 after a couple by Souders. Again from the eye. Souders has time again, but no receiver. Now he pulls it down, looks downfield, long throw downfield, and just over the fingertips of Barry Lloyd, who had broken toward the corner of the end zone. And Souders just couldn't quite get it to him.
Yeah, he was originally going to number 20, Darrell Jenkins, and Mike Hartman, number 1, had tremendous coverage on him.
And number 32, Tom.
And one thing Souders has shown us tonight is he will look and try to find a 2nd or a 3rd receiver, as he did there.
21, Josh Reimel.
Pretty good, giving himself a chance, and just heaves it towards the end zone.
Off by about a yard. Beast will punt it away this time, this out of field goal range. So he's standing at his 50. Bad snap, but he catches it on one bounce. Tries to angle it toward the sideline, and it'll bounce into the end zone. That'll end up only being about a net punt of about 16 yards because Delsea will take over at their own 20-yard line.
I think both teams are going to look back and say, hey, we had some chances to cash in. This was another opportunity.
2 straight turnovers that Deptford couldn't take advantage of, and of course coughing up the football themselves at the goal line with a chance to go up by 10 points. Clinging right now to a 3-0 lead as Delsea takes over 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. Reimel in motion. He'll give it to him. Gets around the outside and puts the hat down at about the 25. Picks up a gain of about 5. Looks like John Ford is healthy again as he is over there to make the stop along with Green.
That was a great play fake that time by Bill Pfeiffer, number 24, carrying that out. Pfeiffer again has only carried the ball twice tonight. I mean, his job's mainly as a blocker, but it could give him the ball to throw Deptford off a little bit. They're certainly not expecting him to get it.
Yeah, we told you that was Reimel. Reimel, of course, lined up straight behind the quarterback. Pfeiffer in the slot. There's problems again. The ball is fumbled. It's picked up, and that's a touchdown for Deptford.
Touchdown for Deptford.
Just coming up with the football out of nowhere was J.P. Nelson. Nelson, remember, made a huge defensive play in the last series. I don't know where he came from, Marc, or how he got the ball, but all of a sudden he was off to the races.
Jack, as you said, it's the 2nd time he's done that where it's almost like he knew the snap, he knew the play.
It certainly didn't look like Nelson was touched. And he definitely wasn't touched until he had scored 6. It's 9-0 Deptford with Beast on for the extra point. Here is our official with a call, however.
Dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike. On the offense, the touchdown's good.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Spartans.
When he means offense, of course, he means the team that scored the ball. That was actually the defense, but nonetheless, maybe a little taunting after the touchdown. This extra point now will turn into a 35-yard attempt as they'll spot the ball at the 25. Beast, a line drive kick that does not get over the crossbar. And so the extra point is missed, but nonetheless, the damage is done. 1:58 to go here in the 3rd. Another turnover. This time it leads to points. The touchdown by J.P. Nelson. It's 9-0 Deptford. Here's another look. It was just dropped that time. Jackson dropped the ball, Marc.
Again, we talked about he's 5'7". He's a defensive lineman. I guess you don't have to be 6'5", 250 to play to be effective.
Something tells me JP will run that highlight for a long time. You don't get those opportunities much, but the little guy, I say the little guy, he looks like a little fire plug who's played like one tonight, comes up with a turnover and probably one of the plays of his life as he scores the touchdown and puts his team up now 9-0. Boy, if you're Sal Marquez and Delsea tonight, you got to be frustrated, Mark. I mean, you had a couple of opportunities where you were first and goal inside the 5-yard line. Here again, turnovers just killing the Crusaders here in the second half, and that one really hurts as it translates to points.
And as bad as it's been for Delsea, it's still only 9-0.
And still plenty of time. Just under 2 minutes to go here in the third. So we've got a whole other quarter of football coming your way. Beast to kick it away. He's put a couple in the end zone tonight. This one's more of a line drive variety that Hartman will take on the 2-yard line. Across the 20. Hartman to the 25 and out to the 28-yard line. Stopped on the play on special teams by Robert Bartley. So the Crusaders will try to go back to work after the turnover. In a 9-0 deficit. Rimal and Jackson in the backfield. Dawson will keep it after the fake to Rimal. Cuts inside and picks up maybe a yard, where he's met by a host of white shirts.
He was tackled by number 55, Wesley Soper.
Brandon Johnson and Soper in on the tackle for Deptford.
We keep saying these linebackers with Soper, Clement, and either Breon Johnson or Green in the middle. It's about as quick a linebacking trio that you'll see. And then Duckett, there you see him, 36, going on the defensive end. And there's a guy that can run in the 4.6, or excuse me, in the 4.7, 4.8 range.
Really one of the better linebacking cores in South Jersey, and they're proving it here tonight. Second down and 7. Dawson again keeps it. This time he's going to be met outside by Scott Duckett. And the defensive end throws Dawson for a loss of 1.
Here's the problem. When the quarterback can't outrun a 273-pound defensive end, and that's nothing against Dawson, Duckett is just that fast.
6'4", 273, and he makes a great play there.
See, he's trying to contain but also make the play, and he committed at the right time.
From the 29-yard line.
Well, let's see if the Crusaders go to the pass here on 3rd down and 9.
I think with the way Deptford's pursuing, an end around is a type of play that might work against a team that just pursues so hard.
Rimal this time in the slot. He's got it, and he'll try to get around the end. And does pick up a few yards, but it'll be shy of the first down. Staying at home and making the play for Deptford that time, Bill Ingles. That'll do it for the third quarter of play here. We haven't gotten an official signal yet. And now we do. The end of the third quarter with the score. Deptford 9, Delsea nothing. We'll be back with fourth quarter action in a moment. Fourth quarter action, Jack Hibbard along with Marc Narducci. And a flag is thrown as it appeared that Delsea was going to go for this on 4th and 2 from inside their own 40-yard line. But it won't matter because now they've committed a false start. That's a penalty against Delsea, and so nothing seems to be going right now.
You know, it's ironic. I don't know if excuse me, Jack, I don't know if Delsea was even going to run that play. I think they were going to try to draw Deptford off sides. Went the other way. Remember, Lamish, the punter, is a former quarterback, so.
Well, I think, again, with 12 minutes to go and the score just 9-0, it may be a little early for anything too fancy here. Lamish back at the 20-yard line, the 21 to punt. That almost got blocked. It's a good kick. Sends Brandon Russ all the way back to the 25-yard line. Now he's got some room as he comes back the other way, cuts it in the middle. Pretty nice return by Russ as he gets it out to the 40-yard line. Entertaining return anyway. I don't know, only a lot of work for only 10 yards, but a pretty good job not to be dropped back near the 25 or 30 where he picked up the ball.
Well, on coming back, Breon Johnson just leveled one of the Delsea coverage men that time. Really impressed with how well these Deptford backs block. We know they could run, but they all block so well for each other.
First down for the Spartans. They lead it 9-0. Ball carrier is Nikos Curry.
And off number 21, Nikos Curry.
Curry with his first carry of the night. Good for 6 yards.
And Mike Hartman, the safety, again was trying to force up there, and Hartman got there, couldn't quite make the tackle. See, watch, you'll see number 1 come up right there and couldn't quite make the tackle that time, and Curry getting a couple extra key yards.
Now Deptford, with some substitution problems, has to use a timeout, so the clock will stop with 11 minutes and 12 seconds left here in the fourth. Mark, I know we've got a long way to go yet in this one. Still only 9-0, but you have to wonder if Deptford knocks off Delsea, something they haven't been able to do in quite some time. They'd definitely have the inside track on this Tri-County Royal Division. I know it's only week 2, but this is a huge win if it happens.
And look at the Division 1 and 1AA players that this Delsea program has sent there. Ed Tyler at Maryland, James Stevenson, who was a key member, remember, of that 2000 Group 3 championship team. DJ Telvacchio, the great linebacker from last season. Jeff Taylor, Brock Bolin, the kicker, and Assad Hafiz, one of the great running backs here from Delsea.
Well, that just shows you the depth of this program over the past several years, and that backs up the point of what a great win this would be for this Deptford team if they can hold on. Still a long way to go, 11 minutes plus. But the Spartans right now with a 9-0 lead and a first down across midfield. Collins, who checked back in at tailback, picks up 7 for the first down.
Do you see how closely to his body was holding that ball? Because Delsea's definitely trying to strip him here. Collins, look at that. Holding on for dear life. Took about 4 people to bring him down, didn't it?
First down across the 50 at the 47-yard line. They'll go quickly to the fullback, Mike Green. Close to the 40-yard line. Picking it up in chunks of 6 and 7 yards right now are the Spartans.
That's just power by Green that time.
He'll give it to him again, and he runs over a couple of guys for a first down near the 35-yard line.
Stopped again by number 33, Mike Kelly.
And this is the time in the fourth quarter you talk about wearing down the defense. Few people can do it better than Green.
Well, we said there was a lot of time, but I'll tell you, the Delsea defense has got to make a stand here if they intend to come back in this one. Just under 10 minutes to go, as you see at the top of your screen. Deptford with the ball in that 9-0 lead. They'll give it again to the big fullback in Green. Like a workhorse now, with another pickup of about 5. He gets to the 30-yard line. You talk about wearing folks down, Mark. That's a guy that can do it to you, is Big Mike Green.
Well, 234 pounds, and he's got every bit as much speed as the running backs. So you have that combination, and it's pretty tough, especially now in the fourth quarter.
Scary combination. They'll call his number one more time. And, I mean, look, he was stopped at the line of scrimmage that time and just bull rushed his way forward for another 2 or 3, very close to another first down.
Stopped by number 24, Bill Piper.
Going to mark his progress just shy, a pickup of 3, where it'll bring up 3rd and very short.
8 minutes and 53 seconds and counting to go here in the fourth quarter. Deptford leads 9-0.
He reminds us of Chris Presley, who we saw last week from Woodbury High School. Presley a little bigger at 6'1" and about 258. I think Green runs a little quicker.
This time Souders, the quarterback, keeps it. Got around the right side of the line, and that is enough for a first down as he gets inside the 25-yard line to the 23.
First down.
This drive started with just about 12 minutes left here. Just about the beginning of the quarter, just under the beginning of the quarter, and the clock continues to run here after they set the chains.
And remember, you're already in B's field goal range.
Hit a 41-yarder in the first half, missed on a 39-yarder in the second. But he's definitely got the range. Green now in the slot this time, and on a little delay they'll give it to Juan Collins, and we're going to have a flag. This may be coming back. It's a touchdown for Collins, but let's wait and see about the penalty marker. It may wipe out the points.
Penalty marker on the field.
Thrown right at the beginning of the play, Mark, and I think this one's coming back.
We have an illegal shift on the offense. That'll take the touchdown off the board for the Spartans.
Saw the preliminary call as an illegal shift. We'll get the official call in a moment, but this gives the Crusaders new life, this call.
Motion on the offense and still first down.
See if we can pick it up here on the replay. Boy, I don't know.
Don't see it there.
Would have had to been in the backfield with Collins, I guess.
Yep.
If he came forward, that would be the illegal motion if he didn't move laterally and he came forward at all up the field. But in either case, 6 points off the board. They'll give it back to him again. And Collins has it inside the 15-yard line down to about the 12.
Wrestled down by number 58, Matt Myers.
That looks to be enough
He's going to be close to a first
for another
down.
first down. It'll be very close anyway. A pickup of 9 for Collins. Looks like he's, at a moment there, it looked like he was dragging that left arm a little bit as he checks out of the ball game.
Second and 1 from the 14-yard line.
Nikos Curry back in the ball game at tailback for the Spartans. Second and 1. Souders to the fullback Green. Doesn't find a hole on the left side. Comes back on the right side and picks up the first down, getting to the Crusaders' 10-yard line. Mark, a very impressive offensive drive here by Deptford.
Yeah, that time Green had number 50, Chris Francis, in front of him, and he got a little bit impatient, waiting for the block, and decided to cut it back the other way. Well, Green only had 2 carries in the whole first half. I think he's getting his carries now.
10th play of the drive here. Green is in the slot just to the left. Curry the lone back. Going to go with Curry that way. Tries to cut back in the middle, and he's got some room now. It'll be a race to the goal line. Gets by Jackson. He got just enough to Jackson to spin him around, and he falls at the 1-yard line.
Actually, if he didn't bump into his tackle, Mike Probasco, number 58, that may have slowed him down a little bit. Probasco, by the way, one of the premier linemen around. He'll make a great cutback right here, and boom, right there, slows him up a little bit, but not enough. That is tremendous cutback ability, isn't it?
He stays in there, does Curry, a tailback behind Green, the fullback. Souders to Green. No official call yet.
No indication yet.
Looks like he'll be marked right over the goal line for a touchdown. Well, a delayed call, but the senior Mike Green with the touchdown from a couple of yards out, and Deptford adds to their lead.
And that's Green's 3rd touchdown already of the young season. It's interesting because they ran over number 57, Greg Wynn, that time.
Well, he got the call, 5 or 6 times in that impressive drive? 10-play drive, he got it 5 times. Make it 11-play drive. I think he got it 5 out of the 11 plays. And he earned 6 points there, and as Mark said, his 3rd touchdown of the year, a 15-0 lead for Deptford. A timeout on the field with 5:59 to go here in the ball game, but certainly that touchdown, this touchdown by Green, putting the damper on the Delsea crowd.
Didn't have a whole lot to go right there, and Green is just too powerful. It's interesting on the next level where he will play. A lot of people like him as a fullback, and I think we could see why.
Boy, he's got already great size for a fullback, and as you mentioned, Mark, not only the power and the strength as he displayed on those plays in this drive, but great speed for a guy his size. And his third touchdown of the year. Deptford now, having missed a point after attempt earlier, will line up for a 3-point conversion. They go with a powerhouse backfield. Souders is going to keep it and now throw it, and he's got two guys over there and missed them both. Not quite sure why both Duckett and Lloyd were running with each other, but at any rate, the ball falls incomplete. So the score remains with 5:59 to go here in the fourth. 15-0 now, Deptford, after certainly their most impressive offensive drive of the night. So as we said, just a little under 6 minutes to go. We'll take a break. Deptford with a 15-0 lead. We'll be back in a moment. Back at John Oberg Stadium, Deptford with a 15-0 lead as they get set to kick it away after the touchdown and missed 2-point conversion. 5:59 to go here in the fourth. Bees with another line drive kick. It's picked up by Hartman at the 9-yard line. He gets to the sideline, and Hartman across the 40-yard line takes a big hit at the 43. Boy, Jeff Green came flying through there to get a piece of him, and then Hartman got leveled at the 43.
And Tom Beast got his body in there as well.
First and 10 for the Crusaders on the 43-yard line.
Beast not afraid to pack a pop on there.
Well, Beast not your prototype little kicker. I mean, he's at 6 foot, 210 pounds, and I think enjoyed being part of the special teams here.
Delsea people are very, very high on Hartman. He's just a sophomore. You saw the beginning of that kickoff there as we get back to action.
Inside handoff to Karan Kelly.
Number 2,
Kelly from the slot across
for a gain of about 2
to the 45, a pickup of 2.
Nelson. Second down and 8 for the Crusaders.
Delsea relying so much on the run.
Remember, Kelly and Jackson juniors, this is their first year as a starter, so they're obviously going to get better as the season goes on.
Loose ball, and Deptford has it back. Another turnover on the Crusaders. It's been a night filled with them. And the Spartans will take over. That might just about do it. They'll get the ball on the 44-yard line after, again, another miscue in the backfield.
Scott Duckett right there. What a game he's had defensively for this Deptford team.
There's a look.
It says it all, doesn't it? I mean,
not going to win many football games when you turn it over 6 times. Even with that being said, you think about this game being 15-0. I mean, if you're Sal Marquez, you got to say to your kids, look, after this one, we had an opportunity. It's 15-0 right now, but they had 2 times inside the 10 on first and goal. Here's Curry on first down, and he nearly broke one. Terrific shoestring tackle by Pfeiffer.
Before gaining another first down.
That saved a touchdown.
I think Nikos Curry earned himself a few carries for the next game. Didn't carry the ball in the first half. Has looked very impressive getting outside, breaking that arm tackle there easily.
First down. See the time remaining in this one. 4:40 to go. Spartans in no particular hurry with a 15-0 lead. Souders keeps it, the quarterback.
Souders was keeping himself on the carry for a gain of about
Scurry's
3.
about forward for about 3 yards.
Jack, I think that was a busted play, and Souders did a good job of just holding on to it. I think he wanted to go to Green on that play.
2nd down and 7 for the Spartans.
Well, I think both teams probably, Mark, would admit tonight that neither one feels like they've hit their stride in this only the 2nd game. We've seen mistakes on both sides of the football. Deptford's made few of them, and they lead it 15-0. Green in the slot this time. Curry's got it back. There's a flag on this play. Curry's got one man to beat to the outside, turns on the Jets and gets in the end zone. But I think we're going to see once again 6 points taken off the board on a penalty flag. And this one's coming back. They overcame a penalty in the last drive to get a touchdown, but they'll lose another one here on a penalty. What were we just saying about the teams looking crisp? Still early in the season, that's for sure. Boy, you're right, though. I'm impressed with Curry. He's come on as a reserve here, the junior for Deptford, and has showed nicely in this 2nd half.
On the offense, 2nd down.
I'll tell you, lost on that play was, again, what a job that Crenshaw did forcing the action. I think both teams, and I've mentioned before, the defensive backs have done just a great job forcing the run and coming up and playing the run. Of course, both these teams are running teams, so they get to cheat a little bit.
Ball placed all the way back now on the 39-yard line after the penalty. 2nd and 20. Carrying the football is Darrell Jenkins, the sophomore, with a nice pickup on 2nd down to gain back the penalty yardage. In fact, he picks up about 13 on the play.
How about Greg Wynn, a 290-pounder, going downfield and being in on that tackle that time? Shows you the hustle of Wynn. Again, some good misdirection, good blocking by Probasco at 6'3" and 265. Jack, remember, this Deptford team only had 21 yards rushing in the 1st half. So what this shows us is the depth in the ground game and also the conditioning of this team.
Officials have a timeout on the field. Gives us a chance to look at the upcoming schedule for these teams. And, you know, I mentioned, Mark, your prediction now. I mean, obviously Deptford has the upper edge in this division. Where do they get tripped up?
Well, Kingsway was considered a contender, but remember they lost week 1 to Overbrook. Now Overbrook's a lot better than last year's 4-6 team. Gloucester Catholic maybe has the best combination of running and passing in the Royal Division. So both of these teams have pretty good tests coming up, and those are the 2 teams and that could make some noise, and you cannot count out Overbrook. Frank Wilsowski, one of the top quarterbacks in the conference. Frank Hale's a fine fullback linebacker for the Rams.
So the next couple of weeks critical for Deptford, and you know, obviously would be unfair to say to the rest of the division that in week 2 this thing is decided, but certainly the Spartans have taken a major step forward here tonight. 15-0, they lead it. 3:24 left to go. 3rd and 5 for Deptford. Late give again, this time to Jenkins. And he's across the 25 to the 24, just a pickup of a couple on that carry.
Jack, here's one other thing to consider. Both teams are in Group 3 this year, and Group 3 is as much up for grabs as it's been in a number of years. Remember, Mainland, last year's champion, has moved up to Group 4. I mean, you have Thompson River South, who we'll see later this year on CN8. You have Camden, that came out with an unbelievable blowout win in week one against Holy Cross, and you have to consider this Deptford team, and I still feel that Delsea will be there by the end.
You got about 5.
Hey, don't forget, coming up tomorrow here on CN8 at 12 noon, Comcast Varsity Sports Zone presents St. Mary's Rutherford versus Beckton. That's for our North Jersey viewers in Pennsylvania, Delaware, and South Jersey. Be sure to catch Bishop McDevitt versus Archbishop Carroll in Philadelphia. That's Comcast Varsity Sports Zone. If you're looking for some of the region's best hard-hitting high school football action, keep it tuned right here to CN8 and get in the zone.
St. Mary's Rutherford, of course, a perennial contender in Parochial 1, where St. Joe of Hamilton, the 4-time defending champ, has moved up to Parochial 2 this year. So that should be interesting.
On 4th down, the Spartans will go for it, leading it 15-0. Souders, play action pass. They're looking for Duckett in the flat. He's got it inside the 20-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down for Deptford. Check that. That was Green out of the backfield. And the fullback who's done the damage on the ground now does it through the air. Well, I'll tell you what, not a bad guy to get the ball to his receiver, because he can do some damage after he catches it.
I think that Souders has done a nice job of feeling the rush, stepping up in the pocket. You saw it on that play. And there's Green doing the rest. I don't think there's any question that the Trico title will have to go through Deptford this year after a performance like this.
Well, they came up a game shy thanks to Delsea a year ago, but they've returned the favor this time. Curry around the left side, down inside the 15-yard line. But the most important thing for Deptford right now is that clock continues to run. You see it there, counting down to 2:15 to go here in the 4th.
I think what's been most impressive is the team speed we've seen by Deptford, defensively especially. Delsea really never consistently got to turn the corner. Spartans were flying all over the ball, and I think Souders has done a very efficient job running this offense here tonight.
Senior at his first year at that post, and you're right, he's done a nice job. Green, the fullback, with the carry. You know, it's interesting, as we said at the top of the program, we talked a lot about the offense of these two teams, but you're right, Mark. I think defensively it's been equally as impressive with Deptford. I mean, some of those turnovers, you know, are not just a case of people putting the ball on the ground. You have to give the defense credit for making some of those plays. 6 turnovers tonight for Delsea, so they forced some of those. And again, granted, the first time they had it on 1st and goal inside the 10, you really have to credit the defense. The second time, the clock was a factor near the end of the second half. But really, anytime you pitch a shutout as a defense, that's saying something. Coming down to the last minute of play in this 4th quarter. Souders will keep it at quarterback. He's got clearance to the goal line, and he'll score. A little icing on the cake for the senior quarterback. Number 15, Steve Souders, with the touchdown, and he adds 6 to the Spartans' lead.
He rode the block of his tight end, that time Duckett, and as you mentioned, Souders was such an efficient game tonight. It's only fitting that he scores this touchdown.
So the big 4th quarter for Deptford continues. People are going to pick up the paper tomorrow and think this one was a blowout. That, of course, wasn't the case. If you just joined us, most of the damage by Deptford done on these last 2 drives here in the 4th quarter. But with the extra point now, they now lead at 22-0 with 59 seconds to play.
Again, Deptford has gotten a tremendous surge. Look at 36 right there. That's what I was saying. Duckett, he took about 3 players with him on that block. But the whole Deptford offensive line, Francis Soper, Hardy, Probasco, and Remington has done a tremendous job here tonight.
Excuse me, you mentioned earlier, Mark, that it appeared on the last drive that Delsea was wearing down, and boy, you could clearly see even in that replay. Not only the physical aspect of this game, but also the heart and soul really taken out of Delsea at this point.
By the way, Delsea has not been shut out since 1999 by none other than Deptford, 7-0. It's become a pretty good rivalry.
As we mentioned, the Spartans finished just a game behind Delsea, who is the defending champion here in the Tri-County Royal. Delsea with an 8-0 record in league last year. Deptford with a 7-1 record. Of course, they only lost coming at the hands of the Crusaders, and this year, who knows, could be the other way around.
Could be. Of course, Deptford went to the Group 3 playoffs last year and lost to Morristown in the first round with the great Albert Young, 31-7.
Beast with a little pop-up kick that Kelly calls for a fair catch at the 25-yard line. You don't see that often. Now, you know you can drop kick this thing if you want from here. You don't see that often either, do you, partner?
No, you don't.
In fact, most people don't even know you can do that. You haven't seen a drop kick probably since, what, the early 20s, partner?
Since I put down my leather helmet.
Closing moments of this one. Glad you've been with us tonight on CN8. We had a terrific ball game for 3+ quarters here, but Deptford has certainly put it away here in the fourth. Just a 3-0 lead at halftime. But they lead it now 22-0. George Dawson caught from behind, and boy, hasn't Jeff Clement had a wonderful game defensively.
I don't think there's any question that Clement is one of the premier juniors in South Jersey, and it's a very good junior class. And Clement, with his size, 6'3", 220, the way he runs in that under 4'7" range, those 96 colleges that came in May last year to see this year's seniors, a lot of them will be back to talk to Coach Al Orio about Clement and some of his other juniors.
Probably the last play of the ball game here with 11 seconds left.
Carried by number 32, Brian Hickley.
Jack, out of all the groups, Group 3 to me is the most unpredictable. And Group 1, Paulsboro is a favorite. Group 4, Mainland, Washington Township, Shawnee, those teams. Group 2, West Deptford, Manasquan. Group 3, I think it's up for grabs, and Deptford could be as good as any of them.
Well, they certainly have proved that they'll want to be a part of it. They take a major step toward the Tri-County Royal tonight, beating their arch-rival Delsea by a final score of 22-0. We'll be back to John Oberg Stadium to wrap it up in just a moment. Stay with us. Back now at a very quiet John Oberg Stadium as the visitors, the Deptford Spartans, come up with a big win here tonight by a final score of 22-0. Time now for the Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield play of the game. You won't see this very often. It was a field goal, a 41-yard field goal. And I know that Coach Al Orio feels that this is what really got his team started. It got him out to a 3-0 lead. Down on the field now with the winning coach, Al Orio, is Marc Narducci. Marc.
All right, Jack, thank you very much. And Coach, that field goal by Beast, I mean, it gets you on the scoreboard in a tough game. How big was that?
It was big because we, one, scored, we had a lead, and two, I thought we showed Delsea we could score from almost anywhere. And, you know, if we needed to, we would have kicked 2 or 3 more. You know.
Al, Deptford's always known as a team that can run, so it's not surprising. You used a lot of backs, but I think your team speed defensively, they could never get around the corner consistently on you tonight.
Well, we really took stress and talk about defense first. We take our best players, play them on defense, then we work on special teams, and then we'll do something with the offense.
It's interesting. You have a nice combination of size and speed, and then you get a 170-pound defensive lineman like J.P. Nelson. There's a guy that, I mean, is a true example. You don't need to be 6'5" and 250.
That's what's great about high school sports, and I hope sometimes maybe in college sports you look at the kid and say the kid can play. You know, if you can play the sport, you can play the sport. Size sometimes doesn't matter.
Now, Al, you don't want to hear this, that the Royal Division's already settled, but a lot of people thought this was the unofficial championship game. But yeah, you were telling me off camera, you didn't look at this as any different or special game.
No, absolutely not. Kingsway's a very good football team. That's our next opponent. That's what we're thinking of. And I think we got a couple teams down the road that's really been tough for us the last couple of years. So we'll get ready for Kingsway now.
I know you weren't aware of this, but you were the last team to shut out Delsea, and that is not an easy thing. A couple of times now, shutting out this is a great program you shut out.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't aware of that, and that just says something about my coaching staff. They've just done a great job preparing the kids and having a game plan, so I got to compliment them.
Now, earlier in the game, we showed a stat. You had 22 seniors. How important is that to have that kind of veteran leadership?
It's real important. The only problem is everybody wants to be captain every game, so I try to rotate that through.
Now, Mike Green got the ball a lot late in the game, only 2 carries in the first half. He was less than 100%, which is why we didn't see him a whole lot on defense.
Yeah, I know you spoke to me. I didn't want to tell you. I do like you. I just didn't want anything written anywhere. And, he's about 80%, and hopefully he'll be a little bit more this week, and we'll give him the ball some more.
Yeah, the other thing is you get a guy like Scott Duckett on the defensive end who had an outstanding game, and we were saying when your defensive ends are as fast as a lot of the team's quarterbacks and running backs, that poses a lot of problems. Again, he just didn't let anything get outside.
Right, and then we can almost dictate where they're going to run or how they're going to run, what plays, because if you're deciding to run a Duckett, then he's usually going to win most of the times.
Coach, congratulations, a tremendous effort. Al Oreo with Deptford again. He's not going to say that Deptford has the upper hand in the Trico Royal, but the Spartans are definitely the team to beat. Now for the player of the game and an outstanding play that really turned around things here at Delsea. J.P. Nelson stealing the handoff, the defensive lineman, and scoring the touchdown from 22 yards for Deptford. And J.P. is here with Jack Hibbard.
Well, JP, I know that you are loving looking at that replay. How many times does a defensive lineman get the opportunity to see a ball just laying there, just waiting for you to pick it up, and you had clear sailing to the end zone? Tell me about the play. What were you thinking when you saw the ball on the ground?
The field just opened up, and the first thing that comes to your mind is pick up the ball or fall on it.
Now, you were telling me off camera that this is not your first trip to the end zone. Tell me about that.
Nah, last year against Gloucester Catholic, it was a pump block, blocked by Anton Gladden. 5 of our other players went to grab it, but they couldn't grab it, and I came by and picked it up.
Now, it looked like a couple of times tonight, JP. We had mentioned earlier in the ball game that there were a couple plays. You were in on one of those where it just looked like you almost like you were in the offensive huddle. Tell us about that, because there were a couple of times tonight where it looks like you just had plays read very well from the defensive standpoint.
Well, it's not all that. I mean, you prepare for the game all week. You go over the films. You go over their offensive plays, what plays they run on, what downs. I mean, it's all teamwork and prepare.
Now, you were close enough to hear Marc's interview with Coach, and I think a lot of folks thought that this was sort of the unofficial championship game in this division, but, we heard Coach's response, and I'm sure the team feels the same way. Still a long way to go, is there not?
Yeah, it's a very long way. We got a lot more good teams that we got to see and play. Kingsway next week is an example. They're a good team.
That being said, though, this is the arch rival, right? How big is it to beat Delsea here on their home field?
We haven't beat them in the last few years, I would say that, and it's just a real big game to win.
We also talked about the senior leadership on the team. You're one of them. How do you now prepare for the rest of this season?
Take week by week, prepare for every team, watch the films, and go over their offense.
Well, in taking things week by week, no doubt that they take a big step here, ladies and gentlemen, in week number 2. Congratulations, JP, on really a turning point of this game. Of course, as Marc mentioned, that fumble recovery for a touchdown made it 9-0. Terrific effort by your team tonight. Congratulations to you. JP Nelson, one of the big factors in this one. Let's take a look now at our statistics for this game. And, a much different picture, I think, that you'll see here at the end of the game than you had at halftime, Marc. Boy, did this thing turn around, didn't it?
Well, Jack, the key thing is that turnovers. Six turnovers. Al Oreo isn't happy with the 2 that Deptford had either, but 6 turnovers. You're not going to beat a lot of teams, and especially one of the premier teams around like Deptford. I thought that was the whole key.
That is obviously the biggest part of this stat page, but if you look at the rushing yardage too, that really turned around. I think 21 yards was all Deptford had at halftime. They finished with 128, and they seemed to really get that ground game going, Marc, in the fourth quarter.
They really did. I thought they wore them down. They talked about Green having the injury with the sternum, but he carried the ball about 4 straight times and really showed his explosiveness. And Delsea, 121 yards. That just is a testament to this Deptford defense. This is one of the better defenses I think that you'll see in South Jersey this year.
Well, I'll tell you what, Marc, we talked about this to both Coach and JP tonight, about this being the unofficial championship game. We heard their line. How about yours?
I think it's going to be very tough to unseat Deptford. I know Kingsway is a similar job as Delsea in a kind of a rebuilding season. I do think Gloucester Catholic and Overbrook are better. You have to do more than just show up against them, but I will be stunned if Deptford doesn't run the table, at least in the Royal.
Well, they certainly have made a big stride towards that tonight, taking the upper hand in this Tri-County Royal Division, beating their arch-rival Delsea by a final of 22-0. Hope you enjoyed the ball game here on CN8. It's been a pleasure to be with you here from Franklinville. The final score, Deptford 22, Delsea 0. For my partner Marc Narducci, for all of us here at CN8, I'm Jack Hibbard. So long, everybody.